But the problem is the body and the unconscious, the tension that it holds has been put in place to avoid something, usually something painful,
Hmm.
not necessarily, but something that is contradictory to the story I tell myself about who I am and how I have to be in the world.
Yeah, there you
So
go. Yeah.
it could be pain. It could be I'm way smarter than I give myself credit for. It could be I can be much more loving and compassionate, but I'm afraid of connecting because this one girl broke my heart this one time when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And so now I can't open. And because there's this unconscious fear of being open in that way that I was that one time I got hurt. I have to compensate for that. And in all of my relationships since then, I've been alienated from my partners, which is me speaking from my own experience there.
Hmm.
Um, wasn't quite high school. I know we share some histories of high school, so slightly post high school, but
Hmm.
when young love goes bad, it can leave scars that are very hard to heal,
Yeah.
and yet they live as tension in the body. And yet if we notice moments where our current relationship approaches those areas and we're able to be, because we're so tuned into the presence of the body, we're able to catch the tension before we enact the behavior that compensates for that pain, and we can stay with that moment of pain instead of trying to compensate for it. We can that's the route to wholeness, because we're no longer engaging in that distracting behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah,
Yeah, the body and the mind should inform each other and, not really be separate. And
yeah.
yeah, we can get, I think, individually and societally, yeah, it can get into so many problems when you're starting to, like a lot of the theme of this podcast is alienating certain parts because yeah, you want a certain answer to pop out the other side of the pseudo journey you're going on.
Hmm.
You don't want to really see what there is to see.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the nice edge there is to balance with like trusting that if you see what's really there, it will ultimately serve your best interests and the
Yeah.
best interests of society and all of that. But to be really careful that you don't trust your interpretation of what's there, because you could so easily pre-interpret something before the truth of it has presented itself, and then you're off on another dog's leg false trail kind of a thing. So it's both trust and not trust, because you can say, oh, you have to trust, and then you'll be like, oh well, I trusted it and it didn't work, so it's a lie. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you trusted it too soon. You
Yeah.
have to trust in the unknown more than you trust in the known.